Andrew Tate freedom is ending.
We are about to create the brand new Game of Thrones game.
The British government has charged Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan.
Bro, this shit has happened like 6-7 times. This shit is not ending, bro. This thing is still gonna stay there and scam.
With and human trafficking, among other charges.
Well, looks like these two are once again cooked. And not gonna lie, who couldn't have seen this one coming? I mean, being able to leave a country for which you still have active charges in is one thing, and I'm assuming some deals were cut to let these guys go. But trying to beat charges in a whole other country, such as the UK and the West, of which, based on what I'm hearing, is upwards of 27 charges and more, is in a whole other ballpark. Like, these two dummies genuinely might be fucked this time.
The BBC reports the Crown Prosecution Service filed the charges after receiving new evidence against the far-right influencer brothers from a regional police station. Andrew Tate faces 10 charges connected to 3 alleged victims, while Tristan faces 11 charges connected to 1 alleged victim on allegations dating back between 2012 and 2015, according to reports.
And back then, these charges, of which they are related to, I've seen various clips, a lot of disgusting things being said in regards to their webcam business, how they operated it, how they recruited girls who are still potentially in high school, like, not gonna...
And he said he fucked a 16-year-old. He literally admitted to it on this camera. Like, it was actually crazy. Then recruited her into the business.
A lie, snitching on yourself in 4K and uploading it to your own personal social media accounts is kind of retarded, especially if you're participating in crimes or behaviors that are illegal. As evident by the top comment under this video, they said, man, it's almost like actively bragging about the crimes you committed on your own website and social media accounts doesn't work out so well. Somebody else said, gonna be a hell of a Netflix documentary one day. CC Morgan said, a dude who publicly says women should be property gets arrested for treating women like property. Imagine that. Wow, you gotta love the sarcasm. Somebody else said, what color is your Bugatti? Nah, what color is...
Yo, see, that was low-key prime, like, back in the day, bro. It was so old. It feels old as hell. Unless you...
is your prison jumpsuit. So you can see people are trolling in the comment section.
The brothers have previously rejected the UK allegations, saying they are, quote, very innocent men. Despite also facing similar charges in their country of residence, Romania, the British-American brothers were allowed to return to the United States in February. At the time, Andrew said of the charges against them,
we live in a democratic society where it's innocent until proven guilty, and I think my brother and I are largely misunderstood. There's a lot of opinions about us, a lot of things that go around about us on the internet. We've yet to be convicted of any crime in our lives ever.
Well, to be fair, I'm not entirely sure about that statement. He did say he's never been convicted. They have been charged, and as I said before, as far as I know, they still have active charges.
So, like, basically, when you have active charges, they can't just arrest you. I swear they can. Well, why do they do that? They just want you to just slip up one more time. They probably giving like chances and shit, waiting for you to slip up one more time, and then boom, you're gonna jump. You're literally gonna jump.
Charges over there in Romania, but apparently these guys were locked up for months on end, ultimately let out because a lot of the evidence that the prosecutors over there was null or wasn't up to par or standards. So a lot of the assets of which was initially taken from the Tate brothers was given back, their cars, their jewelry, their crypto, and the millions of dollars that was seized by the Romanian government. And I'm only parroting what I've heard and what I've seen in various articles and news clips. Don't quote me, but this is what I've heard and seen. That said, as we all know, although if you beat charges and you're not officially convicted, that doesn't mean that you never actually committed any crimes. It just means that the prosecutors didn't have enough evidence to really pin anything on you. But again, when it comes to these situations, listen, I'm not really biased. I just try to look at the evidence. I try to use logic. And although these guys, the Tate brothers, have said a lot of distasteful things online about various types of people, I'm not in the business of convicting people or sending them to prison if there isn't enough evidence to do so, obviously. However, in this case, and based on the charges that the UK is pinning on these guys and the footage that I've seen about their various activities back when they had a webcam business, and, you know, I heard some things about him and 15-year-old girls, 16-year-old girls, and recruiting around that age or participating in behaviors that, if brought up in court, could genuinely get them quite a bit of time in prison. Here we have one comment, and these guys were arguing in the comment section. This guy said they were openly bragging about trafficking women for years. Then this guy John said, what's your proof? Somebody else chimed in saying managing a webcam girl and trafficking are two completely different things. With your logic, that means all the OF girls who use managers are also being trafficked. Somebody else then chimed in by saying he obviously wouldn't openly say he traffics women, but also a lot of the stuff he said about how he got rich research from Camgirl, and some other stuff is very suspicious and could definitely have been trafficking. Maybe not, though we haven't seen evidence. Then somebody else chimed in saying, nice try, simple boy. They never bragged about trafficking, so clearly there's a whole bunch of different perspectives and viewpoints here, you know. A lot of speculation based off of the things they've said on social media, you know, a lot of people wanting evidence, a lot of people believing that they're guilty, but, you know, not really caring about proof or evidence. And, you know, I'll say this, the Tate brothers, given their verbiage in the past and pissing a lot of people off, have basically tainted their image for millions of people worldwide. But also at the same time, they have like a core audience who will obviously stand with them to the bitter end. For me, I'm just on the sidelines watching this all go down. I'm not on either side, as I'm typically not emotional about topics or subjects.
Okay. For me personally,
is it 9:45?
No.
Unless I actually see hard proof. As much as it is the human trait to view things in an emotional perspective or lens and let that sway your opinions about people, ultimately for me, at this point in my life, and because in the past I've erred on the side of emotion instead of a logic and then had to eat crow, I looked like a dumbass not believing in the evidence or proof of certain topics or subjects and then having to come out and say I was wrong or shit, losing my credibility. At this point in time, I just want to see how the court case goes forward from now on. I want to see what they're going to bring up in court, if they corroborate with the charges, arguments from the prosecutor, arguments from the defendants, and see what ultimately happens. However, as for the rest of this video, and this is something I was not privy to, apparently it gets even worse.
Reports say they have since returned to Romania, where they face charges of sex with a minor and trafficking.
As I mentioned before, they allegedly seem to have repeated illegal activities with minors, and this seems to span across multiple countries.
They both deny the allegations. According to the BBC, those charges will be handled after the criminal cases are concluded in Romania.
But why the fuck does Andrew Tate look like he's balding, bro? This nigga's been going through like way too much stuff. What the hell? He's been going through a lot of things.
So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Also, I believe I may touch on the Tory Lanez versus Megan Thee Stallion topic. I know this was an old topic. He got stabbed 14 different times, by the way. The man almost died. And now there's like rumors.
Okay, so like basically there's a footage of it. Literally a video showing everything. He's been, how it shows him on the floor after him standing up and shit. Like, it was actually crazy.
There's an evidence, I suppose, coming out saying that he may have not even been the one who shot Meg. This is what I'm hearing. Let me know if you guys want me to talk about that and, you know, look over all the images, the videos, you know, things coming out from Meg's side, things coming out from Tory's side. It seems to be very interesting. But if you're interested in that, let me know down below. Yeah, till next time, everybody, stay safe out there.
I have to finish writing this paper. I'm swamped.
Okay, I'm